For some context, I, female 28, just moved from the city to my first house in a suburban neighborhood about 6 months ago. Just me and my dog Oaken, a Dutch Shepherd. My dog is trained as a personal protection dog. I'm a runner and Oaken runs with me. We were running in our neighborhood's park and pond area. I had my AirPods in and it was just getting dark. I'd noticed in passing a guy on his bike on the same trails, and as we were coming around the pond, he was stopped on our path. He waved us down and said he'd dropped his keys, asking if I had seen them on the path, asked if I had a light on me. He thinks he dropped them in the grass, wanted to know if I lived in the neighborhood, which house was mine, if I was nearby because he didn't see any cars in the parking area that he didn't recognize. Basically, anything to keep us there and keep talking. Not scary, but annoying with a definite hint of creepy. After he forgot his initial story and said, "I'm going to be so angry with myself if I lost another earbud. That's my third pair, and they're nearly $300 a pop." I moved to leave, and he stood in the path and started asking about Oaken. Oaken wasn't doing anything aggressive at this point. No hair raised, no growling or barking. He was doing exactly what he was trained to do. And every time the guy would move to get closer to us, he would just stand between him and me. The guy asked if he was friendly, asked to pet him, and I said I'd rather he not. He kept saying dogs loved him, blah blah. I again said no, and we started to walk around the guy to go. That's when he decided it would be a good idea to try and grab Oaken's leash. I have no idea why. Your guess is as good as mine. Oaken backed us up, low growl, showed his teeth. He didn't snap, didn't bite. We left. The encounter was strange enough. I posted it in the neighborhood app. I was not accusing the guy of attacking us or anything over the top like that. I just mentioned that my dog and I had been stopped by a stranger while out running, and a reminder not to grab a person's dog or dog leash without permission. Apparently, Park Guy's wife read the post and recognized her husband immediately, because since then she's been telling every neighbor who will listen about my aggressive attack dog. I've now received a letter from the HOA, and apparently the next homeowners meeting has breed-specific bans on the agenda. While I believe Oaken's response was appropriate and controlled, I'm feeling sad and disappointed that my new community has the wrong impression. I'm not out to terrify people. Am I the idiot for posting what I posted to the neighborhood app and starting a feud with my new neighbor? Was I wrong for calling out Park Guy publicly? Not the idiot. As a solo female, I would find it cringeworthy that he would be asking for my assistance. He should have had his phone if he had his earbuds. There for his own light. It doesn't sit well with me. That interaction was creepy, and frankly, the guy is lucky that your dog is as well trained as he is. Otherwise, he may have bitten him. Don't feel sad, just explain what happened, why you felt uneasy, and what exactly led up to your dog displaying protectiveness. Not the idiot. Park Guy was being shady. You had no way of knowing he was a neighbor, and even if you had, the way he behaved towards you and Oaken was suspicious and bizarre, especially with changing his story. I wonder if there's something deeper going on with the history of creeping on young women, and the wife knows it. She may be in denial about the integrity of his stories, of how he's always ending up in these situations with women who are always at fault. But no matter what's at the core of it, whether it's a misunderstanding or something more, you did nothing wrong and were being safe when alone after dark and confronted by a strange man. LOL, yes, this. Who the heck grabs the leash of someone else's dog? That is 100% not normal behavior, and I would describe the interaction very calmly. Also, consider a body cam. These people do not sound normal, and they sound like troublemakers, frankly. I feel like the husband told his wife a much different story about your encounter. Since your HOA is making a fuss, I would make a police report about the incident and let them know his wife is now harassing you. My young teen daughter, Katie, is very talented at maths. She's already the best at it in her school, despite not being in the older years. She entered her exams early and scored full marks. She's now studying higher level math stuff, and her teachers have given her university level material to get her teeth into. It's probably her biggest passion in life. Katie also attends a maths club, which she enjoys, and she's already the most talented member. A couple of months ago, this new boy joined the club. I'll call him Tommy, and she talks about him a lot. She has a crush on him. A few weeks back, the trainer at the maths club told me that she'd gotten complaints from parents because some of the other girls had received texts from Katie demanding they stay away from Tommy and containing a lot of abuse. As soon as I found this out, I made clear that it was to stop. I even confiscated her phone. Unfortunately, the texts continued as soon as she got her phone back. In fact, they got even more extreme, and as a result, the club decided to exclude Katie today. Katie was sobbing in the car, not just because maths is her passion, but also because she thinks she loves this boy and doesn't want to be away from him. He's blocked her on everything due to what's happened. While she hasn't behaved well, it hurts seeing her so upset. She loves clothes, so I thought I'd treat her to a girly day to cheer her up. We did some shopping and bought her some new dresses, and then I took her to a salon to get her hair done. Katie is still pretty down, but she enjoyed the day and said it cheered her up. I told my husband what happened, and he was livid. He said shopping was the last thing we should have been doing, and that I should have brought her home immediately, confiscated her phone, and put her in her room to think about what she's done. Look, as awful as what she's done is, she's a teenage girl who's had both her heart broken and had her biggest passion taken away on the same day. So we can think about punishments later on. You are the idiot. Your daughter did not need to be cheered up from dealing with the logical consequences of her incredibly inappropriate actions. Good parenting does not mean preventing your child from ever feeling negative emotions. It means helping them process their emotions in a healthy manner. She does not need a shopping trip. She needs therapy and strict supervision of her technology usage. She was harassing the other female club members due to her unwarranted feelings of ownership over a boy who had to block her from social media to protect his privacy. That's why she had her crush, and her greatest passion was taken away from her. Frankly, you're lucky the consequences weren't worse. This behavior is grounds for a suspension or being expelled. She deserves to be upset. She's a bully. What you've done is show her that you support her behavior and think it's okay. She hasn't had her heart broken. Her behavior drove other people away, and she does not deserve your sympathy. Try reversing the genders and imagine how you would feel if a boy was fixated on your daughter in this way. Katie's behavior was creepy and inappropriate, and you rewarded her for it. My cousin, 27 female, and her little daughter have been living in my 24 female house since the child was 8 months old. It's a temporary arrangement due to monetary issues on her side after having the baby that is due to end in March, when she's ready to find an apartment on her own. We both work from home, and while I'm mostly taking care of everything, she chips in whenever she can. I study part-time for 3 hours a day and can't leave all the chores to her, so we split chores. By the time I actually get to work, it's usually evening. I'm an author, so it's okay as long as I get it done within the deadlines, so we have been okay and all, but she tends to wake me up at random times. She knows that I often write late into the night and sleep at 1 to 3 a.m., wake up at 9 to 11 a.m., just in time for my online class. However, she still wakes me up for reasons like watching the kid for a few minutes while she goes to pee, takes a shower, etc. I understand that my niece likes to crawl away and might fall off the bed if she leaves her there or crawls into the kitchen or bathroom, but it really affects my sleep. I can't go back to sleep easily after a distraction, and she knows this. There are mornings when I end up waking up at 7 with swollen eyes and a headache from not having enough sleep and become less productive all day, have to take coffee to stay up and write, go to sleep at later than 3 a.m., repeat. The day before yesterday, she woke me up at 5 to watch the baby so she could prepare for her early morning. I could barely keep awake, but I positioned the child where she couldn't crawl past me. She woke me up again before going to the home office to tell me that she would have headphones on, and if the baby woke up again, I should give her a bottle. I had barely slept a wink when I feel the tapping on my shoulder again. At this point, I was irritated, and when she told me she wanted me to check out what she was cooking, I almost flipped out on her. I spoke to her in the evening and told her I would appreciate it if she didn't wake me up unless she really had to, because of the reasons I stated above. I thought she would understand, but she was mad at me. This morning I was watching a TikTok on my phone with earplugs in, and she was cleaning my room. I think the baby followed her in. She put her at the foot of my bed without saying a word and continued cleaning. I didn't know the baby was even awake and didn't register her presence until I heard a bang and a wail. I was shocked, and after the baby calmed down, I asked her why she didn't tell me the baby was there. Her response was, "You don't want to be woken up for her, so." She has ignored me since then and won't even tell me when she needs anything, and won't let the baby crawl to me to play because she will bother people. I didn't realize that my confrontation would make her feel that way. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Why doesn't she just put the baby in a bouncer, swing, crib, walker, something, when she needs to walk away to do something? There's absolutely no reason for her to disturb your sleep to watch her offspring. Also, leaving the baby at the foot of the bed and not saying anything could have put the baby in potential danger, and she doesn't even seem remotely fazed by it. For real, I don't understand why she constantly feels the need to wake up OP. There are so many options to keep the baby safe while she does her morning routine or whatever she needs to do. I just don't understand. And now she's so petty that she puts the baby in real danger by leaving her at the foot of the bed unsupervised. This is just a supposition, but I wonder if this situation has to do with the cousin being jealous of OP, as she doesn't have to wake up early like her. I asked her why she didn't tell me that the baby was there. Her response was, "You don't want to be woken up for her, so." Holy smokes, Batman. That is some petty, mean-spirited crap aimed at her own child. Can you get her the heck out of your house now? If she's about to start endangering her own damn child because of your very reasonable request, I would get her away as fast as possible. I feel sorry for this kid. Her mom's a real piece of work. I'm 19 female. My sister is 21. She's engaged to a guy I haven't met too many times because of the global situation and both of us going to school in different countries. Just once on my sister's birthday and once on Christmas. He's 30 or 31. Every interaction I've had with him has been fine but brief. My sister's fiance was working, so she came to a family dinner my aunt made. One of my older relatives asked how they met, and my sister told them the story. The story is basically that my sister was driving in front of him, and I guess she wasn't going fast enough, so he started driving aggressively, tried to pass her on a double yellow, and ended up causing a fender bender, trying to avoid getting hit by oncoming traffic. When she gets out of her car, he starts screaming at her and berating her. She starts crying, he feels bad, asks her out on a date, and tells her he'll pay for everything. The deductible, repairs. He even said he'd pay for the first year of payments if she needs a new car. He's loaded, so she took him up on the date, and the rest is history. So this is where I might be the idiot, and what I'm asking for your judgment on. After she was done, one of my cousins was like, "Oh my gosh, that's such a cute story. My name, isn't that so funny?" So while I would never tell her my opinion unsolicited, I also didn't want to lie. I didn't want my young teen cousin, who was also there, to think anything about this was cute or funny. So I told the truth and said I thought it was a little alarming and that I hoped his road rage was a one-time thing. One of my aunts agreed with me, and I made sure to add that I was sure it was a one-time thing because whenever I met him, he seemed very pleasant, and my sister was clearly very happy, and the conversation moved on. Later on, my mom said that I should have just lied and said that the story was cute, or just laughed and said yeah or something. I told her I felt uncomfortable lying, and I did think the story was alarming, and had my sister told me that story at any other time, I would have said the same. My mom said I caused a scene and embarrassed my sister, and that I'm the idiot here. I don't think I caused a scene, but I did answer the question honestly. Am I the idiot for not lying and saying the story was cute? Not the idiot. Well, when this cliche bad boy romanticization end? OP, do not feed that myth that reckless psychos with anger issues are sweet teddy bears deep down. It's not a cute story. He could have killed someone, and he yelled at her like a psycho. You shouldn't have to lie about it. He almost killed me, screamed at me, and when I cried, he threw money at me? Such a keeper, my God. It's not a cute story. It's an inability to control his anger, which may end up bad for your sister. Additionally, he is a lot older than she is. She's only starting life, and he's well into his. If someone had caused an accident through reckless driving and then screamed at me, I would have called the police on him and not taken him for coffee. Your sister has weird taste in men. Yikes all the way around. Agree. OP, this whole thing is a mess. It is throwing red flags left and right. And you were right not to tell your cousin that you found this cute or romantic in any way. The fewer people your cousin sees accepting this as normal, the less likely it is that they'll internalize this as romantic behavior. Your mom exaggerates the effect on your comment on your sister, and she hasn't seemed to have a strong reaction and is directing her worry at the wrong target. To be clear about two things, my mom has plenty of money, and a present could be something homemade or even a meal. My mom and my wife have always had issues, mainly due to how cold and rude my mom is. I didn't pick up on a lot of it at first, because it's how I was raised and what I thought was normal. However, my in-laws are the total opposite and treat me like their own son in terms of gifts and attention, and I find myself embarrassed when my mom will hardly speak to my wife. My wife's birthday is coming up, and she's brought up that my mom snubbed it in the past. So I reached out to my mom and explained that it's toxic, that she acts like my wife doesn't exist, and I need her to acknowledge her birthday with some gift or gesture. My mom said that's weird, and she shouldn't be obligated to. I told her how much she was embarrassing me, and my mom asked if she could just stop acknowledging mine. I got annoyed and told her that some things you do because of social obligation, or maybe because you love your son. She said she had to think about it. She texted me that she thought about it, and she isn't willing to do more than a happy birthday text, and it's weird because they don't have that relationship. You are the idiot. I mean, she has a point. It's not okay that she's cold and rude to your wife without cause. Don't get me wrong, but it is definitely weird that you suddenly decided your mom should get your wife a gift for her birthday this year. It would help if you focused on mending or creating a relationship first. Forcing your mom to buy a gift will mean less than not doing anything. Your mom will be doing it because you forced her, and your wife will know she was forced. That solves nothing. Not the idiot. At the very least, your mom should send your wife a birthday card. If your mom is usually invited to celebrate your wife's birthday with you, I think you should stop doing that. Your wife should be surrounded by people that care about her on her birthday. I'm so sorry for what you have missed out on in life because of your mother. I think it's lovely that you're standing up for your wife. Not the idiot. As far as the gift itself is concerned, I'd let it go. Not a big deal, but for the sake of your relationship with your wife, I'd limit the amount of time and communication you have with your mother. Your wife is your family now. If your mother is unwilling to accept that, limit her access to your life. I wouldn't cut her off completely, nor would I be nasty about it. Gradually communicate less and don't visit nearly as much.